Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Cinema.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we are taking a look at Encyclopedia.
This is a new game from Holy Grail Games, designed by Eric Dubus and Olivier Melisson.
It plays from 1 to 4 players in about 25 minutes per flamingo.
So the players are flamingos?
Yes, it says so on the box.
Okay, so that makes sense. It's
Yes.
4 players, but you had to play with flamingos.
Of course.
But actually, the symbols on the box are rabbits.
Yeah.
And then it says
Per flamingo.
per flamingo, so you have to play with more rabbits
Yes.
and then flamingos. It's a game about animals, if you couldn't understand by now. This is a game that we got from Kickstarters. We backed the game on Kickstarter because it sounded nice, and now we're gonna talk about it. In Encyclopedia, you are helping to make the first encyclopedia of animals, basically, of animal species. You will be drafting dice to choose different animals to study, and then you will be doing expeditions all around the world to study these animals, and then you will publish what you find out about the animals. That is basically kind of like the goal of the game. So the game is a dice drafting game where every player is going to roll 4 dice at the start of each round, 6 rounds in a game, and placing them on their table or on their player board. You don't have to have specific tables for each player. That would be a horrible game. You need 4 tables to play this game. Now 4 different player boards or less if you're less people, and you're going to place those dice on those player boards, and then you're going to draft them basically. So even though I roll those dice, doesn't mean they are my dice, which is very good. If I roll like 4 once, I'm going to be very happy then that I'm not stuck completely with those dice. And when I take a die from somebody else, they might get a different bonus depending on the spaces that they place them on their player board. With those dice, you will do different actions. You will do some kind of like income actions, just to get resources, which is money, and these ship expedition tokens you can use for different boosting actions. You will get experts, which give you special abilities. You will then get the animals that we talked about briefly earlier, and then you will do expeditions to look at these animals, find out what do they eat, where do they live, what kind of weather do they like, what kind of animal are they, and then you're going to try to publish that and publish as much as possible, basically for set collection. This game is all about getting points all the time and doing set collection for end of game scoring, and that is kind of the very brief overview of what you do in Encyclopedia.
I think this game looks really nice. I really love the looks of the animals on the cards.
Yeah.
I love how the artwork makes it it looks like it's sketched. Like you would imagine that it was before. Before you could take picture of things, you have to draw them. And I like the style of the game. I also think it looks nice on the table. It's very clear which sections on the board belongs to which action, which I think is nice. But overall, I think it's a really nice board to look at.
Oh yeah, I enjoy all of it. Like the board and in the box and the rules have this really nice character art and boats and ships and all that. It's not that much of that in the game.
Yeah.
It's a bit on the board, but most of the art in the game are the animals. And there are this very weird component that I don't understand why it's there, which is these character extensions, which is basically like 6 different characters you can choose from. I was like, oh cool, it's gonna give me special abilities. No, it's gonna give me the way my character look.
Yes.
So it's a kind of weird thing to add, not just have like a playboard. You don't need that, but I guess they added it for reasons.
I don't know. I have no idea why it's there, but it doesn't bother me. You can play without it if you want to.
Oh yeah, but that would look really weird. That would look like you're missing some components. Not a huge thing. It's just like I would like there to be kind of, when I was really thinking there would be special powers.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I'm going to choose this character, and then it's going to give me nothing.
Yeah.
We had the deluxe edition. We also had like all the normal components. Everything is good quality. The only thing that isn't good quality is the boxes that you put together to have some of the resources in. I enjoyed that, but there were like 2 out of 3 of those that we have are destroyed because they're really horrible punch boards, like different punch boards from the others, which was weird. But when you punch them, you have to be very careful. So if you have a copy of this and you haven't punched it already, be very careful about that. Other than that, like the artwork and components.
Yeah, how was the rulebook?
The rulebook, funny you should ask, and I also have it here. I already showed it. It is a rulebook. It's 25 pages. It is a rulebook.
Wow.
It's 25 pages rules, but it's not 25 pages of rules because there's a solo mode. There are different what is it called again? Like indexes what is it called again? I don't know, but like when it says all the different things that things do.
Yeah.
The rulebook is very good. We had just played Tindaya, which took me like 16 hours to teach, and then we ordered some food and we were gonna play this. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna teach this in the time it takes to wait to go and pick up the food.
25 minutes.
But it was less when I started
yeah,
teaching it.
that's
It was
true.
like 15 minutes, and it was an easy teach in 15 minutes. I
yeah.
tried to do it quickly, but it wasn't anything that you didn't get in those 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I taught the game.
Yeah.
So a really clear rule book. And the first time I teach a rule book, the rules, I usually do it while flipping the rule book, so I know I get all the phases and all of that. And that was super simple here. Good examples, very simple to see. An annex. Annex. That's what it's called, the thing where all the things says what I do. So yeah, the rulebook is great. Has the annex, which says what all the things do. Also has something I like, but it doesn't have other thing we do like.
We like play rates.
We do.
It doesn't have play rates. It's something that I didn't really miss very badly in this game, but it has like a
I don't know if you see this.
Very practical rules reference on the backside of the player.
The rulebook.
Thank you.
Yes, this is the gaming aid. It's the whole game. Basically, it's explained here, all the different phases, everything. So we use this while we play, so we know all the different phases and all of that.
But
so
I'm going to dock it 5 points for missing a play
it's
rate.
going to be a 4. But
Like every other game that doesn't have a play rate.
But yeah, so the rulebook is good. There's no play rates. I don't know why every publisher has stopped making them. It's not like we get more and more smart. It's the opposite.
Maybe it's the resource shortage in the world. Well, yeah. Now it's playtime and player count. We played this game with 3 players.
Yes, only 3 players.
Yes, and the first time we played it, it took us 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, and after that, around 90 minutes.
Yes. I think that it says 25 minutes per player on the box.
Uh-huh.
I think when we got it down to 90 minutes,
Yeah.
I think that is where it should be.
Oh yeah.
For a 3-player game.
Then it didn't feel long, right? The 2-hour
Yes.
learning game was a bit long for this weight of game, but 90 minutes, 3 players is perfect. Of course, it's only be speculating, but like most games like this, I'm not going to go run out and try to play it with 4 players.
No.
Because it's not something I like. It would most of the time just add more time. So yeah, I think 3 players.
Yeah, I think 3 players might be the sweet spot because of the drafting that usually gets a little less interesting with 2. We haven't tried that, so we don't know. But also, I think that it was fun with 3 players.
So this game has a very interesting and kind of unique drafting system.
Yeah.
Most kind of drafting games, you roll a common pool, and that's where you draft from. And here, as I said in overview, every player rolls 4 dice. It kind of reminded me of Trois.
Yeah, I agree.
Where you have those dice. And you can buy them from other people. Here it felt less mean. I never had a problem with Trois. Some people say that, Trois is a mean game because you take my dice. But it's like the same here. You just have to know when I roll those dice, they're not my dice. I can use them, but other people can use them. But in this game, I really felt like sometimes I wanted to use somebody else's die to force them to use my die so I could get the bonus.
Yeah, I agree. It was I always saw it as the inferior option to take my own dice. You have one dice that you can take like for free. That if somebody else takes it, they doesn't get a bonus. You don't get a bonus for it anyways. So I try to always be like, okay, I'm trying to take this myself, so that the 3 other dice that people draft from me, I will get something in return from it. But all of the other times, I always try to draft the other player's dice if I could, because one bonus that I miss is something positive for both of you.
Oh yeah.
When I take a bonus from you, that's like not a negative for both me. No, only me. It's both negative for me and another player. Does that make sense?
I think it makes sense for the viewers. We need to say that the dice are also different colors.
Oh yeah.
So sometimes I want to take my own because it has the colors that I want to. So this game is a lot about it has a lot of that luck of the roll, but the game is a lot about mitigation because not all the actions, but many of the actions need you to have a specific color, and many of the actions are better with higher numbered dice.
Yes.
There's no actions where a 1 is better than a 6.
No.
So it's not like one of those games where I usually like that dice games where sometimes it's better to have the lower number so that it's not that random, and especially when you kind of like in the end of the round you can do like a bonus action, and that feels like the most like rolling of the dice luck that you get.
Yeah.
Because you pick a die that you want to and you roll it, and if you get a 1, it's way worse than if you don't do it and you roll it and you get a 5
Yes.
or a 6. Because what you use resources for in this game is the only thing you use resources for in this game is to manipulate the dice. So both the coins and the exploration tokens.
Yes, I didn't think of in this game as the things that I did to manipulate the die was actually mitigation of it, because I've already been like, okay, I want you. I know what color you are. I know what bips value you are.
Bips, that's a new number.
Yes.
The bips of the die.
What value the dice are.
Yeah.
So what I can do is I can decide, okay, do I want to change the color of the die? And I usually, if I'm not scraped for resources, I have the ability to do that. I have the option to do that. And I also can use the infinite amount, if I want to, number of money to add to the value.
But you're not going to have an infinite amount of money.
No, you're not.
So it means that it's always better to get a higher number than to get a lower number.
Yeah, I agree.
So if like it is, so that is one part that it didn't hugely bother me, but just like it's not my favorite part of the game, where there's no action where the lower number is better. There's one action where it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But two actions where it doesn't matter: getting the experts and getting the money, like you have in money. But other, like for example, when you take the animals, even, which just needs a green colored die to take a green animal, but then you get a better bonus if you have a higher number. I kind of don't like that, because it adds another thing where you want a higher number.
Yeah.
So it would be better to make it so that it's kind of more balanced, because you understand my point. Like I don't love the fact that higher is always better.
Yeah.
Very distilled, not rambly. That's the sentence I want to go with.
Yes, and then I will just like add to that in this game. I don't mind that as much as if I in other games, because of the drafting. That if I'm unlucky and roll a lot of ones, I can draft your 6s and 5s, and you will have to be forced to take some of my ones. I will not be stuck with them myself, and I can even get a bonus for the low dice that I have. If they are the right color that you want, you will be wanting them even though they're low, maybe. So I think that in this game, the only time that I feel like it bothers me is when you roll for the extra action.
Okay, yeah, so I don't love it, you don't mind it.
Yeah.
The game is kind of like, all the actions are very simple.
Yeah.
And there's only one core puzzle.
Yes, absolutely. I think that set collection in this game is the thing that, it is the way that you get points. You can, because it's kind of different set collections. You, when you go to explore the places where the animals live at the expedition, you will see like, okay, I can place on these yellow animals that I have now, and you can spend the amount of pips that you want to explore the different things that they like or habitats they live in, and you get points for that. You will then do a publication action to publish the information that you've learned about the animal, and then you will put the cubes out on these areas. So let's see that I research a lot of snakes, then I will have some amount of cubes on the snake area, and I will get points the more I have in one place at the end of the game.
So it's kind of a double set collection. It's not. It's the same set collection, but it's kind of done in 2 waves.
Yeah.
So you want to... It's different strategies for like if you go do for like huge publications or small publications during the game. But what you're doing is like you're trying to match the symbols.
Yeah.
Because when you publish, you choose a reference animal, and those things that animal do is the only things that you can publish.
Yeah.
So if I found out that this animal lives in cold weather, I can publish all the animals I have that live in cold weather, not the same, just doesn't have to be the same color. But then at the end, I'm going to lose the card that isn't the same color, and then the color, which is the region they live in, is another set collection part.
Yes.
So you have kind of, there is 4 different things on the card, and you have the card itself. So there's 5 different areas where you can do set collection.
Yeah.
And the higher amount of the expedition points you need for finding out the harder things gives you more points both when you research it and when you publish it.
Yeah.
So those are probably not going to be like the huge things you get points for at the end of the game, but you get so many points for them during the game that they might be better to do them and different of those than getting huge amount of the mammals, for example.
Yeah.
So there's different ways to go about doing it. One thing I need to talk about is the kind of, we already talked about the luck of the dice.
Yeah.
And this game is one of those games for me which is on the edge of being too lucky. How do you feel about that?
I disagree. I don't think it's at the edge of being too lucky. I think
For
it's
you.
way too. I don't mind.
Horrible game.
Because I can be collecting snakes and I can be very lucky and get a lot of snakes available because you have these huge sets of
Cards.
Thank you.
Words aren't easy. Words don't come easy to me.
And there will only be a set number of cards available in one round, and there are 6 rounds. So
You mean
there's
cards? Cards.
cards, yeah. So I don't know what I was saying.
You're talking about luck in the,
Yeah,
in the
thank
game.
you. So if I am unlucky and I don't get any more snakes, I can be bummed about that.
Okay, so I'm going to take over while you reset your brain and learn to speak again. I feel like it's on the edge of that. As I said, there's only going to be, in a 3-player game, there's going to be 7 of these animals, and they don't refill. So that means that every round I hope for the things I want to come out. And then you can say, of course, the same as you say in Ark Nova and Terraforming Mars and all those games, if what you need doesn't come out, you have to change up your strategy.
Yeah.
But then if you always get the same, like, oh, it's the same type of animal, the same where they live, and the same thing they eat, and I don't get that, it's going to be harder for me. Kind of, I need to use more actions, kind of.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I agree. But I feel like there's so many symbols to focus on. So if they don't come out the snakes that I need, I can be like, oh, but he lives in the sun and he likes the sun. Okay, let's do this instead. And I feel like last time we played, I got a lot of matching things.
Yeah.
I had so much luck. I won, but the thing is that you don't have time to do it all anyways.
No.
So you really have to be like, okay, I could match these 2 animals because they both eat meat, but I can't do that and do the other things that I want also.
Yeah, so as I say, it's like on the edge for me. It doesn't go over
I'm
the
fine
edge.
with it.
But it's one of those things like, to talk about who is it for, it's not going to be for people who want deterministic games with no luck, because it has that kind of that feel to it. So let's talk a bit more about Wait and who is it for.
Yes.
Wait, it's a medium game.
Yeah, I think so too.
Maybe on the lighter side of medium, because there's simple actions.
Very simple.
You could, what the box says, 12 plus. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Like, I know you could play it with younger ones if they used to play like medium strategy games.
Medium light, would you say? Yeah.
It's a
It's a
hard
light space in the medium section.
Yeah,
On the lighter end of medium.
I would say so. I think that you will not like this if you want games that are deterministic. Like if you want games that are no luck, obviously there's cards and multiple card rolls and there's rolling dice. But I feel like it has that very nice twist on the dice drafting, which I really like, and I think you will enjoy. If you enjoy games like Trois, I think you will enjoy this. It has more luck than Trois, just so you know that. But it's also a lighter game.
Yeah, I think that are we talking final thoughts?
No,
now?
we're talking about who is it for.
Okay, I'm agreeing with you.
And obviously it's for people who like the theme. Like if you like animals and you enjoy looking at these animal cards, like I really liked looking at all these animals cards. And I like animals, but I'm not like a huge animal person. But yeah, I think like if you like the theme, you like dice drafting, which is a mechanism I really like. And Sunua agrees with all of that.
Yeah.
So Sunua can then start with her final thoughts.
Yes, I think if I can speak, that this is a fun game.
Oh yeah, if you remember how to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I gave the word to you. Like, if I can speak, you can.
No, because I'm bad at speaking. I'm really horrible at speaking right now.
Yes.
It's not my jam, obviously. But yeah, I think this game is fun.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that the core puzzle of the game was entertaining.
Yeah.
I thought that this was a lot of Euro goodness in this game. I feel like it's very delightful sitting there and be like, oh, I hope you're not drafting that die. But you always, no matter what dice are out there, you can get something good in return.
Yeah.
And I love that. It's a very, I feel like it's a feel-good game. I feel like the experts that you get special abilities and some scoring from are good. I think I really love that you get also set collection in that.
Yeah.
I really think that the bonuses that you get when other people take your die are giving me something to actually think about when it's your turn. I can be like, oh, you took that, I get 2 coins. That is engaging to me. I feel like that is fun to get stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I also feel like this is this crunchy enough game to be like, okay, I need to do this, and the game is very fast over, I feel like, because you have so many animals that you want to publish things about. I think with the 2 players, I don't know how good it is with 2, but I feel like this could like end up in this category with crunchiness, goodness that you can play in an hour after a day at work, you know? Yeah. So I feel like it's in that category. So I think that this is a fun game. I'm going to rate it at 7.5.
Cool. So you remembered all your words, and that has to be the longest fun thought we've ever done on this channel, I think so. But it was good you remembered your words and you could speak. Happy about that. Yeah, I like the game. I think it's fun. I especially enjoy the dice drafting. That feels like the freshest mechanism. I like the like basically everything is one big puzzle, and everything you need, like the resources and all of the stuff you get, you use for one thing, which is to boost other actions, and then you try to score points here and there. Everything is points. You get little bonuses at the beginning of the round. Everybody gets a bonus. Whoa, everybody gets to do this, and everything is positive reinforcement. I feel like it's kind of on the edge of being too lucky, as we said, but it has enough positive things about it. It makes me want to play it again and makes it one that I want to keep in the collection for now. So for me as well, it's a 7.5, and that is the end of the video. If you are still here and you have not subscribed, you can do so now by
clicking the subscribe button. It's fun and it's free and it makes us happy, like this. If you want to do something that's not free, you can.
Go to patreon.com/boardgamingramblings and support us there. And that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Cinema.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye bye.